Hey everyone, are you trying to get on a budget but are struggling with the basics of budgeting? I have 5 great tips to help you start on the path of budgeting and eventually financial freedom. And then guys, if you stick around to the end of the video, I have one extra bonus tip that has really helped me get to the point where I'm at today. With that being said, I'm Justin from the Low Key channel, where I help you find low-key solutions for an overpriced era. Okay guys, so you're looking at your bank account today and you're like, how am I gonna afford the rest of the month? Well, good news, you are not alone. Guys, the average American doesn't even have $1,000 in their savings account. And you might be wondering, well, how do I get $1,000 in my savings account? Easy. That comes with budgeting. So, my first tip for budgeting is what we call the compare and contrast model. I don't love this model, but when you're first starting out, it's probably one of the easiest ways to start budgeting. And that's just knowing how much you make versus how much you spend, right? And so what you do is, I'll give you an example. So let's say you make $1,000 a month, okay? So that's how much you have for the month. Now you look at how much are your bills. So you say you have $500 in bills. All right, so 1,000 minus 500 gives you $500 extra dollars to spend on what you want. So after you pay your bills, you have $500. What do you do with that $500? Now you get to choose. Well, I'm gonna spend it on something or I'm gonna save it. If you choose to save your $500 for the next 2 months, you'll eventually have $1,000, right? And that's how easy it is to save $1,000. However, the problem with the compare and contrast budget model is the fact that you're only taking into account your paycheck and your bills. The problem with this is that you're not taking into account gas, groceries, just flagrant spending, right? You're not taking into account those things. And that's the reason I don't like the compare and contrast budget model. However, it might be the best model for you today, just to get started. All right, number 2. So we've moved past the compare and contrast budget model. What is the next step? This is actually taking that compare and contrast budget model and adding those extra spendings to it. So now it's $1,000 I make a month, minus my bills, minus my expenditures. So let's say you make $1,000 a month, your bills are $500, and then your expenditures are $250. Well, now you have $250 to save. The whole purpose of doing this allows you to understand where you're spending your money. When I first did this, I was blown away with just how much money my wife and I were spending on going out to eat. I think it was something crazy, like $500 to $600 a month on just out to eat. And I was also spending money on groceries. Guys, that is so pointless. So using this model where you take how much you make minus your bills and then you see where your other expenditures are really helps you get into the mindset of how to save money, right? Because after I saw that, I could say, you know what? We're going out to eat once a week. And we started doing that. And now we go out to eat once or twice a week, but it's budgeted and I know how and I know where my money is going. Tip number 3. This one is absolutely my favorite tip and I will die by this tip, guys. Use a budgeting app. They are so helpful and they know exactly how to help you. Guys, the app that I use is one by Dave Ramsey called the EveryDollar app. And essentially in the app, it makes you spend every single one of your dollars. Now, you're not actually spending it. You could be putting it into a savings account, right? So you have $1,000 at the beginning of the month. Okay, and now you're gonna say, I wanna save $250. Well, in the app, you're gonna spend that $250 into your savings account. Well, now you have $750 for everything else you need. Okay, so I love the budgeting app. Guys, it helps me keep track of everything. There is a paid version of it where you can also track your individual purchases in the app. And that's a really good way to go, but if you're new to this, maybe it's just good to get on the app to see how it works. So tip 3 is my favorite tip, guys. Make sure to use that budgeting app. Really, really helpful. It wasn't until I started using this budgeting app that I was able to save my first $1,000. Guys, I have a few $1,000s now in my savings account, all due to the fact that I was able to use this budgeting app. Okay, tip number 4. Guys, this is a mindset shift. You have got to change your mindset from budget equals jail to budget equals freedom. What this means is that you're no longer saying that I'm just going to spend my money willy-nilly, but you are acknowledging where you're spending your money. So for me, I love the movies. I love movie theaters. I love movie theater food. I love it all. So I make sure that every paycheck, I put a little bit of money into a specific fund. That way, when I want to go to the movies, I have money to go to the movies with, right? And in my budget app, I actually put $25 a month on the line item, and I spend it. And maybe this month I don't go to the movie, so I have that $25, and then I can add another $25 next month. So now I have $50. So now I can take my wife on a date to the movies, right? This is why budgeting is so awesome. It is so freeing. It allows you to spend your money as opposed to making you figure out where the heck did my money go. Okay, guys, tip number 5. You will notice a common theme throughout all my videos. One of the major things that I will tell you to do is stop swiping your card. Guys, your card is so useful, but there is just this thing with your brain that loves cash. Guys, if you start using cash, you'll stop spending so much money. I promise. Just try it for 2 weeks. Give it 2 weeks of just spending cash. And so how do you do this with budgeting? Okay, I told you that I spend $25 a month on the movies. So I actually pull out $25 from my checking account every time I get paid or every month, and I pull that in and I have cash. So when I go to the movies, I pay with cash, right? And so the next month, if I don't use that movie theater cash, I add another $25. And eventually, if I don't see a movie for 4 months, I have $100, guys. This also allows you to become generous with your money. Let's say I don't go to a movie for 4 weeks. For 4 months. I have $100 to spend. Now maybe I can take my wife and a friend who might just need a change of pace and need to go to the movie with me. Guys, budgeting also allows you to be generous. Okay, y'all have stuck around to the end of the video. Thank you so very much. If you've liked this content, make sure to like and subscribe. But I promised you one final tip. This tip has changed my world. Guys, it falls right in line with tip number 5, and that is something that I do, and I create an envelope budget. Essentially, anything that's not a bill, for instance, movies or subscription services or things for my dog, I have an envelope with cash in it. Subscription service is a bad example. I don't have an envelope for a subscription service. You can't pay cash for that. But my point is, all the services that I can pay cash for, I do. So guys, make sure that you use envelopes and label them: movies, pets, out to eat, vacation. Guys, label those funds and put cash in those funds only for those purposes. This allows you so much freedom to do those things when you have the cash to do it. And you're now starting to save some money. So guys, I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure to also hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on all the exciting videos. And guys, comment down in the comments. Yeah. Guys, hit that comment button and let me know if any of these tips have helped you, or let me know what tips you used to help yourself budget. All right, guys, I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.